You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Broadcasting live from a tent outside the Best Buy on Rochester Road. This is the IT in the D Show, episode 223. In-tent guests this week include Amanda Lewan. She's the CEO of Bamboo Detroit. And also for segment 3, we're going to play an awesome interview we had with the folks from Automation Alley at the Integr8 conference, talking about the convergence of IoT, robotics, cybersecurity. It was an awesome talk, and it'll be fun.
You got it right that time, because last time you said conversion. So convergence is the
convergence.
Right word.
I know, yeah. All right. Dave,
it's going to be one of those nights.
Dave, you may shut up and fire one ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT and the D Show.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
That's what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole.
Exactly. Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. So, Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, this is Zach McGowan from Planet Earth. You're listening to IT in the D Show.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump. The IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hey, everybody. This is Tony Todd. What's happening? You may know me from Candyman, The Rock, Sushi Girls, Zoom, Night of the Living Dead. A lot of pop culture media madness. Anyway, you're listening to IT in the D Show business.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Gumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guys. Ho!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome back. Thank you for listening. This is the one and only IT in the D Show. We're all the way at episode 223.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Again, I'll imitate it again. And like I said, we're broadcasting live from a tent outside of Best Buy on Rochester Road.
I'm going to get my TV. I'm going to do it.
You're going to save $20. This is Bob, the sales guy.
An off-brand model that doesn't have any ports.
No HDR.
Yeah.
The Sanyo's got my name written all over it.
DCL.
I was going to get the Westinghouse.
This is Bob, the sales guy. That's Dave at the Gig. Nuri, the FNG's in the house. Randy, I do the Twitters. Walker is in studio. Find us online, itinthed.com, and like us on all the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, so before we get rolling, Wi-Fi is something you don't really think about until you don't have it or it's not working properly. I loved the meme that Tom Lawrence posted of the Little House on the Prairie family. It's like, this is what happens when your Wi-Fi is down for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
That's absolutely accurate.
Let's churn our own butter.
Videos buffering, Wi-Fi dead zones when you roam around the house, too many devices connecting and slowing everything down. And with the holidays, there's always more people home connecting their devices, all fighting for Wi-Fi. But when was the last time you upgraded your Wi-Fi at home? If you want better Wi-Fi everywhere, check out an award-winning Orbi Wi-Fi system from Netgear. Orbi is the simplest and smartest way to get super strong, fast Wi-Fi in every corner of your home. One Wi-Fi network that's easy to install. You can set it up in minutes, and then you and the family will be enjoying faster and more reliable whole home Wi-Fi from your basement to your backyard. So what are you waiting for? Here's what you do. Change your Wi-Fi world and get an Orbi, that's O-R-B-I, Wi-Fi system from Netgear for better Wi-Fi everywhere. Visit netgear.com/Orbi. That's netgear.com/ORBI.
I've heard awesome stuff. I mean, the advances they're doing in Wi-Fi these days for covering your house is absolutely like remarkable. Like,
well, they have
you would have
to.
thought 5 years ago we would have had this stuff in the house. Like, it wasn't,
Dude,
we were still talking home plug 5 years ago.
I still have hardline Ethernet all throughout my house. Dude, when I built my house 5 years ago, that was when we built the house, I was like, nope, here's bajillions of feet of Cat 5 cable. I'm going to need drops here, and here.
Cat 5?
Cat 6 wasn't a thing. Don't be a hipster, you
Yes,
little
it was.
schmuck.
Today on Next Door, someone was like, I need someone to wire Cat 7 in my house. I'm like, really? This day and age, you're putting in some kind of copper wire? I'm like,
You might need it.
I guess.
So as we mentioned, we are on Thanksgiving Eve, the day before Thanksgiving Eve, and the grand
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
the day before the bar.
So it's 2 days before amateur night.
2 days before, 3 days before Thanksgiving, and then the granddaddy of them all sit on the couch and click stuff on Amazon.
And give yourself carpal tunnel syndrome
right,
clicking on
things,
Amazon.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and not being. We're not in the 10 at Best Buy for those keeping score at home.
Yeah, we're really not.
Yeah, no, we wanted to.
We're not that. we're not. No, we're not those people.
We have
a long time ago. We can get everything we want delivered to our porch, same price, if not cheaper. Click, click.
Well,
go.
that's one of the things I was talking about. So I clicked on Amazon, said, "Hey, Black Friday deals early."
Yeah,
so
I went
and clickety-clicked through it. And is it that I'm getting old and have everything I want? Because there's nothing I want.
Well, I mean, it's just so those are
The only thing I want. Nintendo won't make enough of them.
Yeah, so those
SNES Classic.
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
Those are all the sales from usually the marketplace sellers that are starting their sales early, trying to get you to buy their stuff. Leading up to Black Friday.
It's just been going on for like a week now, right? I've heard ads, early Black Friday from like Home Depot or Lowe's started last week.
Oh, I get like 4 emails a day for early Black Friday pricing, yada yada.
Oh my God, I forgot that day's coming. Wednesday, email day. Oh no.
Email day.
Black Friday.
Oh, opt-out day, yeah.
Yes. Yes, that was the worst day of emails of the year. Was the day before Thanksgiving and on Black Friday. Oh my God.
And then Thanksgiving itself.
God.
And then God help you on Friday.
So one of the things that came out and everyone's been excited, a lot of games have come out lately. I don't know if they're trying to beat the rush for Thanksgiving because it's usually what you do, eat and watch football, play video games, you don't work.
Right.
And so Battlefront 2 came out and Call of Duty World War 2 came out.
Yes.
And
so
the internet.
Call of Duty World War II has been a thing on some of my friends' walls for about a week and a half now because of one of the scenes in the game.
Well, so I just got done playing Battlefront 1, which was Battlefront World War 1.
Right.
Which was, so I'm kind of, I like the genre set. I love a Vietnam one, but I'll take World War 2.
It's getting to be like the Futurama episode where they're playing a video game and it's World of World War II Part 3.
Right, pretty much. But like the internet came unglued for 2 reasons. One of which for World War II, that there's scenes of people hanging.
Well, and it's just
Apparently.
people hanging. It's black people hanging from trees.
What I read in the thing, it was French people, apparently.
Well, according to
They made a note, EA made a comment saying it was Caucasian.
Oh, well, so the screenshots that friends of mine have been posting that they've been losing their minds over, they certainly don't look Caucasian.
Oh, boy.
So,
I haven't seen the, oh, boy.
Yeah, I'll forward that to you.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to Hirsch. She's the one that's been posting about it for the longest now.
According to Activision, the publisher of the game, the scene takes place in Saint-Lô, France, after the invasion of Normandy. Quote, the scene depicts American soldiers encountering 2 French civilians of Caucasian descent that met their demise at the hands of the Nazis.
Yeah, boy.
Well,
it's war. I mean, I don't, like, how can you get offended?
And how is this that much different than if the scene was in a movie? Or,
Or, you know, all of the shooting you're doing in the game.
I just cut a guy's head off on Assassin's Creed Origins.
But here's where I draw the line, damn it.
Right. You can murder 10,000 people, but this is where I get upset.
But they were Nazis. It doesn't count.
Oh. But the worst offender, and this blew up Reddit, which is very difficult to do these days, is our good friends at Star Wars Battlefront 2. And EA has become is the new Comcast. Like, Comcast is finally out of the shadows of being the world's most hated company.
This week.
This week,
yeah.
And EA has the World Championship title belt around their waist. So let's just jump right into it. So Battlefront 2, you know how things like in Assassin's Creed, there's like basically little loot crates and you find the shield and you can buy stuff at the traders and you can make stuff, right? And it just becomes like you get better equipment as the game goes on.
Like any game like that, you can level up by doing things or buying new equipment or things, right?
Yeah, totally. So
standard.
here comes Battlefront 2. And you can't, Vader doesn't exist in the packaged $60 game that you buy. And that doesn't, so you can't even get Vader off of the initial purchase. Now let's go number 2.
So I've just showed Bob the screen capture from the World War II game.
And I lost all train of
and
thought.
his response was, oh my God, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You done messed up.
Yeah.
Whoever did, that's bad, dude. Like, all right, so yeah, you get a right to be offended. I retract that. Because I read their statement. I'm like, hey, what the hell? Just, people. I'm like, no, not people. Oh my God, that looks bad.
Well, no, black people are people, Bob. That's
I know
this. And Bob's on Flashpoint.
And Bob's on Flashpoint.
So back to Battlefront 2. If you want to unlock everything and all the characters, you have two choices.
This is crazy.
You have 2 choices. You can spend 4,528 hours.
So that's more than 2 standard years of work weeks.
40 hours a week.
Standard work week is 40 hours, 40 hours,
weeks.
50 weeks. 2,000 hours is a standard work year.
So you get 2.5 40-hour weeks.
Yeah.
75.46 weeks.
Kiss.
Or
ass.
what's behind door number 2? A $2,100 bill. So you can buy.
Well, Darth Vader's not $2,100.
No, but he's part of this. So if you want these microtransactions,
I heard he was $148. Someone said.
Oh, alone as a standalone,
or is that just half? We were talking about this on Ian's podcast this weekend. And I'm like, wait, what's unlocking half a Darth Vader? Is that just like a disembodied torso running around with?
See, now it'd be funny if it was Darth
you
Maul.
get him somewhere, but in mid transition. Yeah.
No, it'd be funny if it was
Kylo Ren.
It'd be funny if it was Darth Maul,
because then you only get the top half or the bottom half.
Legs running around. But here's the problem: I put my $5 at GameStop. I didn't pick it up this weekend because I was in Toronto, and now I don't even want it. It's become like, again, it'll either bother me or I'm going to play it for 2 days and I'm going to put it back.
Didn't EA respond by just removing purchases? Like you can't buy
they
anymore.
extended them until like February. So EA decides we're going to go to the public and make this right. So they went on Reddit and did like hey, we're the team that developed
EA
this.
Ask Us Anything?
Ask Us Anything. They did an AMA, and the one
first 37 posts were WTF.
First posts were
WTF.
why isn't Vader in? Why do I have to unlock Vader, for crying out loud?
Yeah.
And their response, which was some ridiculous,
was money.
Well, pretty much, but it got 800,000 downvotes. Now you've seen how Reddit operates.
Wow.
Like
how many 100,000?
800,000. The comment
shit.
got 800,000 downvotes.
Because when I saw it, it was 100,000, and it was already the most downvoted comment in the history of Reddit.
Now it's exceeded
Holy
the most.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, that's what Brian told me that said. It might have been, he said 800. So if it's 100, I'm going to get yelled at online anyway. By
somebody will tell you that you're wrong.
Right.
That's
Great.
that's what we're there for.
Let's bank I'm wrong.
And also EA stock went down 2.5% on Friday, and it was directly attributed to this. And I heard the chairman and CEO of Disney called EA and said he was worried about it. So like, this is when
he should be.
This is when things start to matter, is when your stockholders are pissed. So who knows? Will this change anything?
No, here's the thing. Like, okay, we've done it with Call of Duty, and we've done it with, hey, if you want the deluxe unlocked everything package, it's like $80.
Right.
So another $20 bill, and I don't have to worry about, wrestling does it. You get the Macho Man, and, if you order early, you get, you know, if it's another $20, it doesn't make me go irate on the internet. But if you do $2,100,
you deserve to be lit on fire.
But the problem is, people are going to pay. Somewhere down the line, they figured out the percentage of people that are going to pay for it versus not, and where that line is. It's the lemonade stand theory, right? Supply and demand. At $5, you might buy one, you might buy two, but at $3, you might buy three, and then at $1, you might buy five.
Yeah.
Right? Where does that line cross? Where how many you're going to buy? And that's people. That's the thing. People are going to buy it anyway.
My favorite thing I saw was,
Grandma, can I have the unlocked feature on Battlefront 2? It's only $2,100. Like,
that's all I want for Christmas,
right?
See, my favorite thing I saw was EA had released a new controller, and it was photoshopped with a credit card and the controller.
I did see that, yeah.
And then a keyboard.
Yeah,
with
it's got a card reader, right?
Like, oh, that's great.
That's how it should be. So I shout out to the fine our fine servicemen in the Navy out in Washington State for drawing a penis in the sky. That was pretty amazing.
What happened to Buzz in the Tower?
Now there's talent to draw. Those curves,
that
figure eight. No, that's not easy.
No, and then the fact that they go, yeah, we did it. Like, there's no even like, no, man, it was like some crop dusting play. No, yeah, we did
UFOs.
it. Right.
The article I read was some lady like, I don't know what to tell my children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
Just, you know what? Shut up, laugh.
Right, because children don't have a mirror.
I was going to say, isn't there a 50% chance your children have penises?
One would hope so.
And what happens if you go home and say, why'd you get dishonorably discharged from the Navy? I drew an epic skycock.
Can that be the title of this week's episode? Epic Skycock.
No.
Gives a new meaning to chemtrails. I don't know. Like,
it's chemtrails.
Show's over, folks. Time to pack it in. Dave, I can't even segue out of that one. So, Dave,
epic skycock.
Speaking of skycock, Justice League broke this weekend, and I didn't see it, and I'm not going to talk about it. So don't worry about spoilers or turning off. But you know what?
It did have the lowest opening weekend in DCEU history.
You know what? Great. That's on whatever.
Yeah.
But screw you. You know who you are.
All the people. Yeah.
The ones that got the advanced screenings on Tuesday and Wednesday. The ones that saw it on Thursday on opening day at 7:00. And then the ones that saw it all weekend. Kiss my ass, all of you, for even mentioning. You just, like,
this is the worst movie ever.
What happened to just posting a selfie with you and your kids in the theater and checking at MJR Rochester and saying, see in Justice League?
Yep.
And just leaving it alone. But no, you got to run to social media and you got to dissertate.
Bob, it's first.
God damn it. No.
It is. We're back to message board days. Got to be first. Hey, did you hear Charles Manson died? Said everyone today.
Who cares? I didn't even know he was alive. But no, why can't you just say, like, check in? I'm seeing Justice League, and I'm having a drink because Imagine sells alcohol now.
Yeah.
And the popcorn cost me $70, like we used to do. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, we'll talk about it when it comes out on Blu-ray. That's the new rule. When it comes out on Blu-ray, you're allowed to bitch about it. Until then, watch it twice. Like, again, like movies,
it's like a Yelp review.
Movies change.
Go someplace twice,
right,
before you get snarky.
Right,
yeah.
Like Star Wars 7, like it took a while to love it and hate it and love it, and it goes like a roller coaster. Like
it took Rogue Squadron to make me appreciate 7.
Right, but like just. I hate you, like I do. Like you know exactly who you are.
Yes, you do.
I'll never listen to you again about anything.
Hey, so I hear. I'm just going to cue this up, and I'll let this roll because I hear you discovered something fun in your house.
Oh yeah. Fart. So for those, there's a little bit of a pause, and sorry about that. But that was the Alexa, and apparently, if you just say, because like my 4-year-old always laughs, if you say Alexa, play fart noises, and it would play like playing something from like a sound effects CD.
Yeah.
Now, all you have to do is say Alexa, fart.
And everyone's Alexa just farted.
And everyone's Alexa, it just farts.
And we've just become a South Park episode.
And all of a sudden, no, like, right. And like my kid goes like, if you hear it in the video, like she goes, oh my God, she thought that was me. And I go, no, I swear to God, it's not me. Come downstairs. So my kids literally for 3 hours stood around this thing, and it's not the same one. That's the beautiful, like someone coded this thing to have different farts.
Our inner 11-year-old is everywhere, Bob.
But like
Amazon hires them too.
They must, because like enough people must have, like, where did the demand come from where a coder's like, you know what, we got to put this feature in?
I'm sure it wasn't a demand. I'm sure it was like a developer sitting around drunk going, hey, I bet I can slip this into the code base.
I tried it with Siri a few minutes ago, and Siri's like, no comment. Like, that's boring.
But
Come
then
on.
Siri's female, and women don't fart.
Of course
so
not.
they're classy.
It's fluff. Maybe
Alexa
say
is female, yeah.
Say
my Siri's male.
Say Siri fluff. No, then we asked Alexa to poop, and she said, sorry, I'm not equipped to do that yet. Like, come on. It's like, yet. Right.
That's the $2,100 DLC for the
Little jelly beans come out of the
I don't know.
backside.
The moment I have to clean up after my electronics is the day I just cut ties.
I become Amish, yeah. So a weird thing that was floating around, and they haven't figured out if this is a glitch or something they're experimenting with. Apparently, the desktop version of Facebook removed the ability to delete posts.
What?
Yeah. But on mobile, you still can. So that means, but why would they do it on mobile and not on the
I have
desktop?
delete back. I just checked.
Is it back now?
They
Okay.
confirmed it was a bug.
Okay.
Oh, phew.
Rogue code update.
It's not a bug. Bugs don't get rid of delete buttons.
Yeah, that was. Oh, hey, let's just slip this out and see who notices.
And, no,
everyone noticed. And then, okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of the delete button. Let's go on Reddit and see what happens.
A/B testing.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the new product testing is Reddit.
Well, no, they went bananas. They were like, you can hide your post, but you can't delete anything. And anyway, it's back, so who cares?
Yeah, so never mind. So we had talked about this story a couple times. The company in Canada that had wound up losing hundreds of thousands of dollars through a social engineering scam.
And the funny thing about this story is, speaking of giant skycocks, the firm is called Chubb Insurance Company.
Come on.
Yeah, it's serious.
Yeah. So the company filed a claim with their insurance company, Chubb. Because they have a cyber policy, in case of data loss, yet monetary loss, whatever.
Yeah, we had him on a show like maybe 3 months ago. It's a new thing, so if you're not aware of it, you can buy insurance for getting hacked.
So, but their claim was denied, and they actually went to court to try to fight this, and the company lost their case because it was social engineering that triggered this. It wasn't like they didn't lose anything due to a hack or a breach or anything like that. It was, a couple phone calls that were made into the company, an email that, an email that somebody replied to that said, yeah. And then it was the work over the phone that had them changing the routing numbers and where they were sending payments and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't actually a breach. It was social engineering.
So technically it's just simple theft.
Exactly. So, I mean, and candidly, I mean, this ruling makes perfect sense to me. Social engineering is not hacking. Social engineering may be a component leading up to a hack.
No, come on, Dave. I thought when you leave your phone open when you go to the toilet.
I hacked my
Well, see, 84% of hacks involve social engineering that starts it.
Yeah.
So basically, does that mean your cybersecurity insurance is worthless? Because, I mean, if you could prove that it started with this, I don't like this.
Interesting loophole. But I mean, like I said, I mean, it does make sense to me. I mean, because they said, like, if it had been because of, like, strictly just because of if an email had come in and that got, somebody's passwords and installed a keylogger and that kind of stuff, like, that's a true hack. That's
but if you what happens if you have a rogue, like a non-employee, walking through the door and plugging in his Cat5 and pulling files? Is that a hack or is that social engineering? See,
well, that wouldn't be social engineering. That would be straight up theft. I mean, that's.
But you broke into their data center. Again, this is a gray area that needs to be defined.
Maybe Maybe. Like I said, I mean, if 84% of the hacks that are out there start with social engineering, that's fine. I mean, that's like saying that, 84% of car thefts start with people parking their cars.
Brave new world, brave new world.
So we've got, what do we have? We have, Blueborn is interesting because
I saw that.
Alexa. Apparently, all Alexa and Google Home devices are vulnerable to this. I think they said they released a patch for the Alexa in September, if I recall correctly. It's a Bluetooth vulnerability that's out in damn near any device that's out there.
But the way I love how the news runs, it's like, here's the vulnerability, here's what it's called, and here's how to implement it and what you can do with that.
Well, if they're doing responsible disclosure, it had already been patched. And in this case, I think both the things were actually already patched. But the proof of concept was hilarious. It took just a minute to do, and they had it play, said, "Hey, Alexa," and it said, "Hi, I've been owned. Please take me to your leader." That's a really, really good proof of concept.
Good times. Let's see. So we've got, locally, this is kind of, we know people there. I guess NTT.com is buying Secure24.
Yeah.
And it's been approved by the shareholders and everything. Like, it's a done deal.
So this is one of those things where I met the guys that started Secure24 back in 2001. Where they were it was like three guys and an idea.
Yep.
And they had an old, one of the crappy ISPs that went belly up. They got their data center on Melrose and Southfield. And they were basically scrubbing data and saying, I'm going to deliver you clean. And then they got into, they basically did product development,
managed hosting,
really high end. Yeah, not just managed hosting, but they were doing they were like the SAP guys for the country. That went out to like Switch and Reno, huge clients, built this company up. They had like 400 or 500 employees.
Yeah.
And, they just got bought by NTT.
Kind of curious to see how it's going to shake out.
What's the play there, though? NTT is this gigantic Japanese telephone company, right?
I worked for I got bought by NTT in 2001.
Like you personally?
Yeah, I mean, they bought me.
What was the price on that ass?
They bought the company I worked for $6 billion, and they had to sell it for $1 to Cogent. And that guy had to do Japanese suicide. We were convinced.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad deal.
Yeah, that was a really bad deal. They were throwing money around to anybody.
Oh, hey, and before we forget, so we did have our event last week at Nancy Whiskey. It was a blast seeing everybody. It was a blast seeing all the firefighters. Congratulations to the graduating class that was there. It was a good time. And then we've got our next event, which is our annual charity drive on December 7th. So that's a Thursday. It's 2 weeks away. It'll be over at Falling Down Beer Company like it always is. Come one, come all. We're, making this, this is the one we throw open every year. I mean, it's an IT and the D meetup. It's a podcaster meetup. It'll be Podcast Detroit peeps. We'll have the remote gear there. We'll be drunk. It'll be apparently the Policemen's Association is going to show up, so hopefully we'll have umbrella coverage.
Yeah, boy. We're gonna need Uber to bring over McDonald's or something, because
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a good one. So I mean, that's out on our Facebook page and everywhere else. Do please check that out. I mean, it's we're dealing with the same people that we deal with every year for the past few years. Trying to help kids in the area have a better Christmas than they would otherwise, as well as providing shelter for women and children in dangerous situations. So I mean, this is a big thing that's near and dear to our heart. Please come out. You can donate online if you can't get there. You can donate ahead of time if you can't get there. Go do. And then on the Career Academy front, we've had the first. I got the first 30 user IDs back. Those went out to people. And I'm waiting on the balance to get back to me from Career Academy. But so those are out and up and running. If you haven't got one yet, don't panic. They're on their way. So I mean, that's like I said. I think we talked about that a little bit last week when we had the
starting
kickoff.
to get the notes going. Where's my? You'll get it.
It's a thing. Yeah. Relax. We can only control so much.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean that's ongoing, and for what it's worth, in case you're wondering, we are full. We've got, in fact, I think we're at 140 people that have signed up for it right now, out of the 100 slots that we have. So we do have a waiting list. As people drop, we will roll people in, and we'll go from there. But yeah, no, it's a very cool thing, and we're really happy to be doing that as well.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with the CEO of Bamboo Detroit, Amanda Lewan. This is the IT and the D Show.
And we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITinthed.com.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 223, the Thanksgiving Black Friday.
207 episodes past Bob was wrong.
Stop doing the math. This is the one and only IT in the D show, broadcasting live here, and we're in our tent at Best Buy in Rochester Road. It's Bob, the sales guy, hanging out.
I thought we were moving over to Costco at some point.
Later. Double our efforts. That's Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG's in the house, Randy, I do, the Twitter's Walker is in the studio. Find us online, ITinthed.com, and look us at the Meetup tab where we'll be, and read our stuff and subscribe to us on the socials. But hey, this segment is brought to you by our friends at Zelle. Zelle is the new easy way to send money to your friends and family from your banking app. Cash is easy to lose, and checks, who the hell writes checks?
The people in front of me in Meyer. That's who writes checks.
Right. There's only one person a year, and they're always in front of me.
Does Best Buy accept this new form of payment?
Yes. But with Zelle, once you're enrolled, the money moves right between bank accounts and typically arrives in minutes. Pay your share of the cost of your dad's gift with your brothers and sisters. Request half the cost of the Christmas tree you bought with your roommate, or pay the personal trainer you hired after Thanksgiving with ease, all thanks to Zelle. It's so easy to use, works with almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S. And don't worry, Zelle's safe and backed by major bank, which means you can send money confidently.
Well, like I said, I think I've gotten like 3 emails about this so far from Bank of America, and it's one of the ad screens on their ATMs, so it must be a thing.
It's the thing, right? But do us a favor, go to zellepay.com to learn more. That's ZELLE pay.com, and it's how money moves.
Cool.
Yeah,
thanks for the support, guys.
Most definitely.
We like money.
We do.
We like money that actually moves and arrives where it's supposed to.
And you know what else we like? We like Amanda Lewan. She's in studio right now.
We do.
I know that would get a giggle out of her. But hey, we got Amanda Lewan. She is the CEO of Bamboo Detroit, if you're not familiar with it. Actually, why don't you tell everybody if you're not familiar with Bamboo?
We build shared office spaces for startups and small businesses.
You were the first ones in town. You were kind of, I don't say define co-working, but you were the kind of that took the shot at doing co-working.
Yeah, we were just a group of friends, kind of like you guys, who just wanted to do something and have a place to go, and built a community over a couple of years, right? And then it kind of grew into a business.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys moved and got new cool space now?
Yes, we're in 1420 Washington Boulevard. We have 2 floors now, open co-working, private offices, and lots of community events and support.
And access to a rooftop, or not a roof, the top floor party deck. Is that what you call it?
It's not a roof.
No, not the rooftop. It's the top floor.
We have a beautiful big event space called the Loft of 1420 that can fit a couple hundred people. So that's where we're actually doing.
It's the loft at Kenny's house.
Exactly.
We're doing our demo day for this pre-accelerator program we're doing for tech startups called Startup Boost.
So what is that?
So it actually was a part of, like the startup weekends.
Yeah.
It was a part of that. And so we did it last year with a cohort of like 8 or 9 companies, like Ash and Anvil, who's now Ash and Erie, and went on Shark Tank and the My Swim Pro app. And so this year it's just a free volunteer-led 6-week event where we get together, we get entrepreneurs and investors in the room, and all of the companies have to practice their pitch. We make them start with 1 minute, then they get up to 3 minutes, and they kind of rapid fire. They can't even answer. They pitch, and then they listen to feedback for 5 minutes where people just kind of raise their hands and just say, hey, I was confused on this part. That story didn't work for me. And it becomes this like incubator space for them to test out how to present and pitch their company.
Interesting.
And the goal is by the end of that 6 weeks, they're polished enough that they can start approaching investors or get into a top accelerator program. So pre-accelerators are kind of like that prep where you're probably operating, but you don't know, you're not just yet ready to get into the top accelerator. You're kind of in that in-between space.
I feel like we should be there with a gong.
I just thought we should be there, but not with a gong.
So we have our demo day
That's why we're not invited to these things.
No, you guys are invited to our demo day next week. It's Tuesday the 28th. And what's really cool is there's like 9 other cities doing this program, and Detroit's like, I think Detroit and LA are the only American like cities in the US. And constantly in a lot of these programs like Startup Week and like startup weekend. They always see a lot of turnout in Detroit and a lot of engagement. So it's kind of interesting to see that we rank well with a lot of these community programs across the country.
Yeah, I mean, getting the spotlight on the startup community. I mean, again, once you start seeing us on Shark Tank and stuff, it's kind of like, all right,
It's wait, that's a thing,
Right.
Like, really a thing?
And Cuban invested. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was funny.
It was great. Yeah, it's like I know those guys.
They did a great job. Yeah, so they went through our first cohort of this where they practiced their pitch and polished it, and it introduces them to mentors.
They were here long before that, and had to deal with us shredding them.
Actually, we liked them. I
We
remember.
did.
Yeah, there's only one we shredded. Only to this day.
Yep.
4.5 years. Of people in here.
Well,
One-
it was the dumbest idea ever,
and they're gone. Go
Yeah, they're-
figure.
yeah, go figure.
We'll have to talk about that later. So anywho, some of the companies I thought might be cool to talk about real quick. We've got one called Brand VR. His name's Moody. He wants to be like the Shopify or the WordPress for the AR VR space. So he's building a simple tool set to make it more accessible for anyone to start kind of developing in that space. Especially if you're like a marketer, like, today a small business owner can now, build a website semi-easily with a WordPress without too much technical skills, right?
So easy, even a Bob can do it.
Well, so honestly,
he wants to build these tools to make it more easy for, regular people who aren't as technical to play around in the AR.
See, my first question there is, didn't Apple just release their AR kit to do exactly that?
It's a great question. You
I
can
don't
bring
know,
that
use
to you on
Apple.
Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
And bring the gong.
Yeah.
Wait.
Apple did it, gong.
Well, I think what's
Simpsons did it.
I'm really excited about this entrepreneur because he's already started a company, grew it to a few million in revenue, and his partner is in Florida and built like a co-working space for AR, VR developers and gamers. And so they can pull from hundreds of talented people to come help them and like scale up kind of quickly as a company. Whereas the number one question is, where do you kind of find that talent here? And
God, that
he's
whole
got a
world
partner.
passed me by. Like I know it's there.
Yeah,
but like the talking about the gaming stuff and all the money that's getting thrown into that, like, wait, what?
It's well when your ROI is a $2,100 bill for yeah,
and they gladly give it to you.
So some of the other companies that'll be presenting next week, one of them is Cellular EMT. So they do on-demand cell phone repair. He's one of our members. His name's Dwayne Watkins. They're super great. And he started off with like a physical cell phone tech repair store and realized that people didn't always want to come to him or like, they were complaining a lot, taking days or weeks or months to get their stuff fixed. So they've been testing out like a mobile on-demand version where if you break your stuff, you can just log online and they'll come to you.
Wait, what's the name of
that? Cellular EMT.
Dave,
So there's some
we
models
need to
out there across the country, but there's no one locally.
Right.
And a lot of the models he thinks don't have good customer service. So that's where he wants to
I'm just
be.
thinking we had someone on the show 2.5
did
years
that.
ago.
I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah, I'm curious if they just evolved and changed names or what the scoop is.
Right.
I'd have to go back and look.
We need to start Dr. Hangover like they have in Vegas.
We show up with a bag of saline solution.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just always be at your house.
I would pay for it
You
every
go for a frequent flyer program.
Drunker would be DRUNKR would be.
See if the website's available.
I'm sure it's taken. Anyone else gonna be there?
So one more that I think I'm super pumped about is called PathSpot Technology. And the woman who started this company, she's a biomedical engineer and totally an inventor, was just bored with her day job, working full time, coming up with an idea. And one that she came up with, it's for the restaurant industry to help prevent foodborne illness. So after you wash your hands, instead of that sign, there's a little like iPad and you'll just hold your hands out and it'll scan you really quick to make sure that your hands are clean.
Gross. Just so you know that no one's gonna. It's like no one will do it.
Oh,
it's like remember when you were a kid, and you had to chew those red tablets to see where you didn't brush your teeth.
No, they're
That's
piloting
totally gonna be
it
that
right now, and people are doing it.
You don't remember that?
No.
Nero, you remember that or no?
Yeah, I didn't have that now.
I remember that. Yeah, he used to give you red tablets. And like, oh my god, I didn't brush in that little crease.
I remember Swish, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tablets.
See, I remember that. Yeah.
No, but your mouth was like
little chewable things. You chew them, and
Yeah.
then it sticks to the plaque, so you know where to brush.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
It's a little die, so it shows you what
Yeah.
you missed.
Well, it's different when you're a company like Chipotle, right, who has a massive outbreak. from
Right.
it,
Well, for employees, yeah, no, that would be the thing. Like all employees have been scanned. Like have like a TV screen above. Like,
oh my God, Taco Bell. We know it wasn't the green onions that made people sick. Can you please bring them back?
So it's Tuesday the 28th. What time?
7 to 9 at our building, 1420
AM?
Washington. No, PM.
Oh, thank God.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, we don't know these.
No, that's good. No, yeah, no,
we
God,
don't know.
thank
No,
you,
sometimes there's breakfast things going on. Yeah. So I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, 7 to 9 p.m. In the beautiful space at the top floor of our building called The Loft. And so we hope you guys can come out and join
Sounds like
us.
we'll have to come check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're early stage tech companies, so it's just kind of been a great way to get them that early support to polish, you know?
Well, and you were just mentioning somebody who does kind of the same stuff you do. Before I forget, we should give a little shout out to Catherine, who flew out here from Colorado to hang with us for a day. And basically, she wants to start a podcast studio / bar / co-working space out in Denver.
Yeah.
And hung with us for a day and took our advice. And yeah, it was kind of cool.
And as soon as we said, let's have drinks, she's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, and I'm done with you too. Yeah.
How long was she hanging out with you?
Like 2 hours,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. We took her to Lafayette, around Detroit.
Got her bottle of Faygo, a Detroit versus everyone shirt. Everybody, sorry.
Yeah.
And then it was like, let's go have a drink. I'm like, bye. She was awesome.
Well, apparently
though.
she wanted to go to museums and stuff, and
We don't go to museums.
We don't do culture. But how's everything going at Bamboo? I mean, how is membership? How are things going?
Yeah, things are going really well. We are over 200 members. So we just moved about a year ago to our new location, and then we just added a new floor a couple months ago of private offices. And those are almost full. We just have 1 or 2 offices open. So we've been just growing really organically with our companies. And it's been a lot of fun. I think.
So now, what's a private office in a co-working space? Like, is that something that's always mine, or is it still a
always yours, locked door, fully closed, fully furnished with hardline Ethernet drops, so you can get into the rock fiber internet. Which
Nice.
is super fast. So you can go up to like 800, 900 up and down. Hardline. So some of our companies really like that as a perk. But then you share the conference rooms. The 4th floor is really nice too. It's just 10 offices, and they have like 1 big large conference room
Right.
and a little cafe. But then you get all the other perks and shared amenities that we've already built out, like the event space, the community networking, office hours, coffee, all the basics kind of wrapped into one, so you don't have to worry about anything.
very cool?
What's cool? Oh, it's kind of cool. I was at the Techstars demo day, and there's a company trying to take what co-working is for the real estate industry and doing that with cars. It was I think it was called Car Karma.
Okay.
So basically, I could go get a car and for $299 a month, insurance, like maintenance, everything.
Oh yeah. We talked about that. Yeah.
One quick monthly fee, and then you could just have a new car anytime you need it, or
Yep.
something like that. Like.
They're doing it for restaurants.
It'll be
for
interesting to see if that works.
For pop-ups and food trucks. So they have like a home that is that passes the health inspection.
So instead of buying your own truck, you could just rent it out?
No.
It's like
all the food trucks have to have a home that gets
physical.
passed. Yes. That passes all the health inspection stuff.
Really?
So now they're coming, like my friend's investing one in Cincinnati that's for basically any pop-up chef, any like home chef, any like that does like celebrity like cooking.
Yeah.
Or executive cooking, or like food trucks, that there's like a home for all of them to come in and test stuff out. And
I feel like that would be great to do here in Ferndale. There's a lot of food trucks here and a lot of like events.
Mhm.
So that'd be interesting to see.
So on the boring side, no, I'm just kidding. You
Okay,
said that
boring
earlier.
side.
You said no. I thought it was intriguing. You're like, oh my god, it's so boring. But I thought it was cool. Like you had an economic impact study
Yes.
done.
Yeah. So we
And-
surveyed our members to try to kind of get a feel for, is bringing a bunch of people together actually working? Like what impact does that make?
Mhm.
Right. And so we found out that, people, like 80% of our members are spending money or referring business to each other. Like I think it was like 75% said they prefer to spend money locally. So if they're going to hire somebody or partner with a business, they're looking around, like right around them. Who's here? Who can we hire? So I think that shows that they're interested in investing in the city they're in. And then they also on average hire 4 people. So it's working. It's kind of cool to see. And we also found out that about 25% are more established companies. So they're making over $500,000 a year, sometimes a few million a year. So business actually happens in these spaces, and the companies do grow, and they seem very committed to giving back. So it's something we got to measure over the years and see, okay, well, what's that larger?
Right.
What are those larger numbers? Who scales out? Will we have that one company that becomes the next unicorn or something cool like that? And that'll be interesting to kind of see over time.
Yeah, the 80% though, like it does make sense. Like if you're gonna go farm something out. Like,
Networking
who's
101.
here?
Yeah.
Who's here? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're in Detroit, so they care about being there and supporting the economy too, you know? So I think co-working spaces can be a good catalyst for like that local city that they're in as well.
No doubt. Cool.
Very cool.
So that was the boring stuff.
That's not
That's
boring.
not boring. Yeah.
That's actually things actually working is not boring for the love of God. Yeah.
If you'd only have a podcast studio in your co-working space.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that.
So do we.
I feel like we can make that happen.
Yeah, I know. We know a couple guys that know a couple guys. That, you know.
That know what they're doing.
What else is going on downtown? You have your finger on the pulse. What's in terms of
well, the Thanksgiving Day parade.
I can't keep up with the events going on there. I remember there was no tech events downtown or in the city or in the suburbs, or it didn't matter. We talked about we need to do a tech event. Like this was when we first started doing IT in the D. Now it seems like there's one every month.
Really?
Like, I don't know what's been going on.
Yeah, there's another conference, another this, another that, another
Yeah, I think it's definitely growing. We're hosting now. There's a new meetup group called Women in Digital that just started, and it's got a good following already, and it's for women in any form of digital role, like across marketing, advertising, tech. So that's been cool to kind of see that stuff pop up and grow, but I would love to see more of it. I don't know about you guys, but there's some nights where I see at Bamboo, we have a big event, and I'll see like Tech Town or like other spaces are having big events too, and they're full. So I think that's a good sign. It shows the community is growing, that you can pop into a couple events a night, you know?
Well, people are like reaching out to us going, we're doing the exact same thing you're doing. Why don't you come to our event? It's like, well, why don't you come to ours? We've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I don't want to go to, then if I go to yours, people think it's ours. You know, it's like one of those weird things where, you know, we've been doing this for so long that it's hard to go to other stuff.
Yeah, everyone comes to you. That's
it's not. Why do you think I was the DJ in the bar, right? Because people brought me drinks and the girls came and talked to me, right? So I always thought smart. Didn't have to do anything except play the songs I liked. Oh, DJ Bob, you're so funny. It's like, see, you got to think like that. But no, I'm happy to see you're growing. I think you've doubled since the last time we've talked to you in terms of membership.
Yeah.
So kind of kudos to what you guys are doing. And then I was at the new space like back, I think before you opened. I got I got a tour from Hans. But it looks awesome. Like it's a very cool space. And you can actually park on the street.
Yeah, it's actually, thankfully, it's still very accessible. There's still lots of parking by us. We'll have to see in the next couple of years as the Hudson and the other building on Washington that's getting totally redone. And they actually just started construction. There's like one gap of empty, like plain grass that they've now started development on.
Oh, really?
And Washington's going to be bumping in a few years. So it'll be interesting to see.
I was going to say, the Weston was always there. And you're like, where can we walk? People would always ask us, like, hey, I'm from out of town. Me and Mo always stay at the W all the time. We're like, there's nowhere, like, here, you got to, like, go that way. Like, go, like, 3 blocks down and make a right, and then everything's there.
Yeah, but now also Capitol Park, there's tons of new businesses and restaurants that have opened up. There's that new fancy steak place that opened up right
Prime and Proper?
Prime and Proper. So
$29 burger.
I'm not going there. I'm just saying it's new.
I know.
It looks fancy. People
Our
like
foodie
it.
friends went there on opening day.
Of course they did.
Yeah. Joe and Nick. Yep.
There's a place with a secret speakeasy in it.
I don't know.
No.
There's a new place opening downtown that has a speakeasy in the back of it. Am I on drugs?
I wouldn't be surprised if this is it.
Are you talking Bad Luck?
No,
I have
it's
not been
actually
there
in a
yet,
restaurant.
but
Bad
they're
Luck
the
was
one with
fun.
the $70
Great.
drink on
Yeah.
the menu. I feel like they have that just there so people will say that.
Then they order it. No, it's like it's at Hooters. It's the $110 combo.
Right.
It's like 6 wings and a bottle of Dom.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Right.
Class all
So
the way.
other things going on downtown. I mean, you guys all know about the Q line opening up. I think it's been running a few months now. They just did all of the Christmas markets downtown too. So,
Yeah, when we were driving around the other day, we were like, okay, so are those like private seating for the bars? Like, what the hell are those
I think
little
there's
glass
a couple.
sheds? Yeah.
No, there is some like private. There's like a closed off bar space with some bar food, but then there's little igloo huts, and each one is like a small business.
But like, wasn't Ming Chen, didn't he post that he went to one of those? It was like a rooftop deck, but they were like igloo huts, and they were like 8-person tables in the huts that were heated, but they were glass, so you could be a rooftop experience in the winter.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, oh my God, so when I saw those little huts, I'm like, oh my God,
That's a better
like
idea.
igloo beer garden, I want to go. And then I found out they're like stupid
shopping.
Right? Like,
Yeah, who shops
Crystal.
anymore
Stupid commerce.
not outside of Best Buy, right? I mean, who's
Seriously. Christmas markets, get out of here with that garbage. Crafts.
You're like, I'm taking the queue line all the way to Best Buy.
Is the queue line ever going to be the people mover? Like, I got a feeling it's going to be.
I think the queue line is the people
I
mover.
see people using it. I have not used it yet.
No.
I see people using it.
Okay. I just have a very bad feeling that it's going to become the people mover.
It's just going to be a long time before culture changes, right? So, like, my boyfriend and I both live in Boston Edison, so we're right outside. We moved actually from Midtown because we rescued some dogs. We couldn't stay in our apartment anymore, and we didn't want to buy in Midtown. It was getting pricey, and everything was small. And there was no yard, so we're like, okay, where's the closest like neighborhood with houses? So we went to Boston Edison. So we moved literally like a week before it opened, so we can't take the queue line. We both drive because it's just a 5-10 minute drive. We both drive separately, and our offices are literally like a half a block between each other. So it's like it's such a culture change to like we might go down a car, but it's like we're busy. We're just used to just hopping in a car, getting somewhere in 10 minutes, and back. And
well, coming from the suburbs, like if I'm going to go to Midtown or Wayne State, I'm going to go downtown. Like to me, it's not, and it's not like there's a huge mega garage. Like I was hoping, like around Milwaukee, they would just say, okay, we're going to make like the world's largest parking garage. And this is kind of like where you go.
Yeah.
Then
I love that idea.
Well, I mean, you look at
they have room to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at DC with the Metro.
We need a garage.
I mean, DC with the Metro. Every Metro stop, there's a huge parking garage right there. I mean, that's
logical. Go figure.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And I'm sorry, if the home of our nation's politics can figure out how to do things right, for the love of God, Detroit, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure if they figured out how to do much right yet. But.
Hey, but the Metro is cool.
Except for that.
No, it's getting there, but like I can't keep up with the restaurants that are opening.
There's a lot, and hopefully they stay. I think we need more people moving downtown. I think we need more jobs. I think jobs are critical right now. Like Quicken Loans is the number one, employer in downtown Detroit. We need more job diversity. We need more tech
too much
companies.
high. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I wanted to hit on. Was there's too much high end stuff going on.
Yeah,
I just want something normal.
There's a lot of normal burger places though.
That are opening.
Yeah, you got like the Five Guys. There's another one right around the corner.
Wahlburgers, Shake Shack. I get it.
So I guess we need something in between.
No, they're not like a burger place. Just like it doesn't need to be like the most high, like a prime and proper. Like
right, yeah.
Like it's nice. Like, and what's funny? What opened that no one's talked about? No one. Giordano's right next to BW3's in Greektown. Yeah. Like Chicago Pizza. Like it's been that was the quietest opening I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just noticed that. What was it last Sunday when I went down to BW3's?
You had to drive by it
doing a live remote.
Wait, what?
And I was like, wait, huh?
For more, listen to episode 36 of Heard Podcast right here on Podcast Detroit.
There you go.
I heard about it because we're already planned to go there for Mark's birthday. Like 2 weeks.
But it's like we got state claim to Pizza Popolis, and now it's like, no, real Chicago pizza, no. But hey, we're going to cut you loose, but we appreciate you coming down.
Yeah.
BambooDetroit.com.
Yeah.
And then
we'll do an
Tuesday the
episode out of
28th?
Bamboo someday.
Tuesday the 28th is that thing?
Yeah, next Tuesday the 28th at 1420 Washington. There's more information at BambooDetroit.com/events. It's open for anyone to come. And Startup Boost will be doing it again next year. So if you're a tech startup or have a tech idea, feel free to reach out or keep an eye out for when applications open again.
Can we MST3K that? That would be funnier than a gong.
Huh?
Like almost like Shark Tank, but more asshole-y.
I feel like that would be amazing. I feel like we'd never get allowed to do it.
Walk me through.
Excuse me.
Do you have a big gong?
We can
we
Amazon
would get one. I assure you I could find one.
Amazon free shipping 2 days.
They don't have that at Best Buy.
No, Amazon.
I'm sorry. There's nobody ever in one of those. What is it? The Far East Bazaar stores in malls. I'm sure they have one sitting around somewhere.
Well, thank you guys for having me tonight.
Thank you. Always a pleasure seeing you, and we will see you Tuesday. Amanda Lewan, Bamboo Detroit. For segment 3, we're going to play an interview we did at Integr8 with the CEO and the COO of Automation Alley, talking about what's going on at the conference. It was actually an awesome conversation. And then we'll cut you loose. This has been episode 223 for the IT and the D Show. We'd like to thank Zell and Orby for your sponsorship. We appreciate keeping the lights on. On behalf of Bob, Dave, Nuri, and Randy, do us all a favor and drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. Just got to get the hell out of here. Don't leave yet. We got that interview coming up, but see you soon and drive careful.
Bait it.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D Show.
ITinthed.com.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Welcome back. Thank you for listening. This is a special one-off edition of the one and only IT in the D Show. We are broadcasting live from the floors of the beautiful GM Renaissance Center here in Detroit, Michigan.
That's right. If our wives happen to listen to this, we are at a hotel for a conference.
Not in a room.
No, we're not even in a conference room.
In the ballroom. This is Bob, the sales guy, joined by Dave the Geek, and we have two great guests with us tonight. The people that put this whole thing on, Tom Kelly, the CEO of Automation Alley, and Pavan Mazumdar. Did I get that? Oh, did I do it right? Pretty good. Close. He's the Chief Operating Officer of Automation Alley. Before we get started, gentlemen, congratulations. This is pretty awesome.
Hey, I feel pretty good about it. And, I got to tell you that we're at the Marriott here, and thank God people found their way here. Because when you get inside the Renaissance Center, everybody knows that you get turned around, you go 6 ways from Sunday.
You had signs everywhere.
Yes,
the gentleman downstairs was on point.
Parliament.
He said, hey, when you go up the elevator, you're going to make a right. And if you go right, you can't be wrong. And I said, that guy's going places, man.
That's awesome.
People demonstrated some commitment to get here today, so that's awesome.
So traffic was amazing.
Right.
I heard it was terrible north of 696.
Remember the good old days
when Detroit was dead? Traffic was awesome.
So easy to get down here.
Is it bad to say, but when I'm driving with my wife, I always say, this town needs a good recession. I'm so sick of the traffic.
Right. So the Integr8 concept, I guess, talk to me about where the concept came up and what it is.
Well, I came into this role, thankfully, about a year ago, and we said, look, we got to put. We took a little different direction with Automation Alley. We actually returned to our roots and actually focused on automation. Imagine that.
Go figure.
And so automation, the buzzwords kind of changed. And this term Industry 4.0, which came out of Germany, really getting a lot of buzz talking about the fourth industrial revolution and how, robots and artificial intelligence going to change the way we make things. Well,
big data, machine learning. Let's play buzzword bingo, man.
That's right. Go right down the list.
Change the paradigm.
Don't forget advanced materials.
right.
Yeah. Throw that in there. So we said, if you're going to talk about technology washing over manufacturing, we're the manufacturing capital of the world, for God's sakes. So let's build a conference that makes the technology companies come to see us for a change.
People forget that there are things still being built here. Yeah. Even beyond cars. There are things still happening here.
Right. Auto, aerospace, and defense. We're great in all three.
And then the other thing is, building things is hard. It's not easy, right? So that's the other thing that we need to point out over here is, it's and I come from the software world, slapping together a bunch of lines of code.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's really
making stuff is really, really hard.
Well, and we've kind of hosed ourselves.
Yeah.
We've basically taught an entire generation of kids that you shouldn't be working with your hands. You shouldn't be building things. We took shop class out of school. We talked with Adam Janai of Mob Steel, about this, where basically we've got now. There's nobody left to do it.
Yeah.
And so now you have, it's almost like, from a tech perspective, COBOL ain't going away.
Yeah.
You're always going to have big iron, and okay, well, who's going to maintain it when everybody's retiring?
Yeah.
So now you have all these guys getting out of the manufacturing industries, and you don't have that next crop.
Yeah. Right.
And what you're seeing is they were just talking upstairs at one of the sessions. GM just brought back their apprenticeship program. It's been gone for 12 years. They just brought it back. They're training a bunch of people on how to maintain everything in the plants. I mean, that's going to be a great job path.
Cool.
Yeah, isn't that great? I love to see that.
Well, and that's been one of the great things in the tech industry, especially here in Detroit. You've seen, folks like Detroit Labs and a couple others where they, instead of just complaining that they couldn't find workers, they started their own apprentice programs.
Absolutely.
They bring people in, train them up, and that's I think that's a concept that's been lost, is that whole you're going to have to pay your dues, kid.
That's right.
You're going to have to start at the bottom and learn, and you're not getting that, once every 3-4 months we get some kid at one of our events Oh, yeah, I'm holding out for that, 6-figure job. I just graduated this year. But yeah.
You're making me do work first?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and like what Grand Circus is doing, where they are partnered up with Facebook and they're training all these people on these new careers related to technology and
Or
software.
what IT and the D is doing, training people in
Absolutely
non-coding positions. So I don't know if you know about this or not. We launched our Career Academy, where we're getting CompTIA certifications and getting people pushed into level 1 help desk gigs.
Plus Security Plus, all paid for.
I did
Very
know
cool.
about that,
Very,
and you know
very
what?
cool,
And the academy that you guys launched, it's like dirt cheap. It's like you can go,
free.
yeah, and that includes a certificate as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay for
No, we're paying for
the
the cert
sheepskin.
test now as well, yeah.
Well, see, there was a time when I thought you were charging for it. That's incredible. Everybody should be taking
Well,
advantage.
we've been
of it.
piloting this for a while, and then we finally caught.
in Flint.
Yeah, we finally caught the state's
Wow.
eye.
Yeah.
And the state's paying for the certification.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're-
That's as they should.
We got a
Right?
grant.
It's good for
We're
the
a
state.
nonprofit.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, so one of the objectives of this conference is to show manufacturers that making a shift to technology isn't as scary and as hard as people think. There is, however, a lot of hype. So one of the things we want to do is create a learning system to be able to determine, what is hype and what is reality. And that's really what one of the values of Integr8, and then all the stuff that happens after it is to help with that whole thinking process.
Well, I guess answer me this question. How many of those legacy suppliers, manufacturers are just really stuck in the old days? And how many are being progressive and moving forward? I mean, you
You're
guys...
a guy who's owned a shop that's made bolts.
Right.
For GM or lug nuts.
Yeah.
For 50 years. And I don't need no technology. I mean, that's what you would assume it would be like. So
Right.
how do you bridge that gap?
That's actually not true anymore.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah,
No,
even
it's
the
not.
littlest
Yeah.
guy.
The kids are taking over?
Well, yeah, we do see that where they're like, "Oh, Dad, oh, jeez, Dad, just stay out of the plant, okay? Go back home. Mom's got you. You're gonna be
The house
fine."
in Florida's waiting for you. It's all good.
But because you just can't do it anymore. I mean, you do need the machine, the CNC machines, and the things that really are starting to be computer controlled.
Well, you
And
almost
that's
need to
really
be a
coming in.
computer operator and not a tool maker.
That's
My dad and uncles and everybody, they were all tool makers when they came over to this country.
Yeah.
And now they got to be like almost certified in computers.
Well, they're still making the tool. They're just making it on the computer.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to do this and that. It's not this or that. And that's what Industry 4.0 is. It's the physical and the digital, right? And that's what makes our region unique because we are familiar with the physical. All we have to do is start being more comfortable with the digital. And that's, at least from my perspective, that's an easier transition to make than most people give credit. The other thing is we actually come across companies that actually have innovated and transformed over the years, but they don't necessarily get the airtime, right? So that's the other thing that we need to do better as a region is to show some of those smaller champions, those little giants that are actually doing really well and transforming those companies internally. The airwaves are taken up by the big tech companies because they're doing really cool stuff. There's cool stuff happening in the small and medium-sized businesses as well.
You know who gets the buzz? Grubhub. Grubhub doesn't.
Right.
Grubhub is worth $3.5 billion, worth more than all the Chinese restaurants combined that they deliver for.
Yeah, right.
So what my point is, like Uber doesn't own a car, Airbnb doesn't own a hotel,
Right.
Grubhub doesn't own a restaurant,
right?
And they're getting
Dobler world.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah, right.
But they're getting the publicity while the people making aren't.
But the story hasn't been told yet, right? So a lot of these companies still aren't making money. They're still living off capital, gobs and gobs of capital that
Looking
they've
at you,
raised.
Twitter.
Right? So, in fact, who's the Blue Apron? Blue Apron just had a little bit of a dip in their IPO because people are like, you know what? Thanks for validating the business model. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do it because I've got a local grocery store that can hook this stuff up, and I have now the delivery mechanism because you validated the model for me.
I like Blue Apron.
Well,
My wife can finally cook.
Yeah.
I know she's not listening, so I can say that. Like, well, this is great.
Did you give her the message earlier about the ballroom or whatever?
No,
We're guilty of that as well. We get a Hello Fresh every now and then. I'm like, dang, this is good, honey, man. You are really good at this.
And then that's what you're seeing though. Now you've got there's a new one that just came across my Facebook feed, like Food Box, and you've got like 8 other competitors that are starting to hit that market for that exact reason.
Food box sounds as unappealing as you can get. It's a food box.
And the dumb ones, there's one for dogs I saw. There's one for babies. Like, come on, man.
See, I'm sorry. I'm circumventing the entire food box process. I just went straight to shipped.
Yeah, shipped is...
which is another great thing. Yeah, that's right.
But that's the point to make, right? You can build these digital business models in an afternoon. It takes years and years and years to build the physical infrastructure around it.
Yep.
And once someone validates the digital business model, it's not a lot of work to then slap that on top of the physical, to the keynote that we heard this morning about that digital innovation platform that you can put on top. That's the change, the mindset change that needs to happen in this region.
And what we're doing today actually ties in perfectly with sort of where Detroiters feel they want to go, which is to be makers. To be a maker, you have to have the digital and the physical. I mean, you're going to end up with a physical good that actually makes sense. Right. And you have to have both sides of the equation. So we're trying to focus on that.
Well, that's the one I don't understand is when people complain about robotics taking over jobs. And I said, well, why don't you learn how to make and or repair robots?
Become the guy that services the robots. You always have a job.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Well, and I was just upstairs with Jeff Bernstein from the Robotics Institute of America, and he's got a graph that shows every time robots go up, more jobs are created. Every time robots go down, in terms of sales, jobs are destroyed. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. It's counterintuitive that as you get more productive, you actually get more market share, which causes you to hire more people.
Yeah, just not necessarily jobs in the same space. I think that's
exactly. So the manufacturer itself is creating more jobs. They're just not sitting on the line putting a bolt on the thing.
You're seeing the same thing with retail. So everybody's decrying loss of retail. What they're not looking at is all the logistics, fulfillment, and warehousing jobs that are being created right now. And if you look at it, there's actually a net benefit to the economy because they're all
going down. Amazon's
opening up warehouses all over the place. I mean, they've got how many? 250 cities.
That's
in
what I never understood when the USPS was. Remember in the early days, they were complaining about the email that they're going to lose all this revenue from the handwritten letters.
Charge you a penny per email.
But I'm like, but wait a minute, we're shipping stuff now more than we ever have, which you're delivering.
Yeah,
and it's been a shot in the arm for them.
Yeah,
for sure,
precisely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's so true.
Amazon Claus shows up on my porch at least 3 times a week.
Right. Well, and then you had the great point about Amazon and Macy's. The reason why Macy's is struggling so bad, the caveat is my personal opinion, is because they're trying to compete as still a distribution model. Right. That is, Amazon is superior. You should walk into a Macy's, have 3 of the product you're looking for, you try it on, and then you zap it with your phone, and it shows up on your door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right? Touch it, feel it, use it.
I think that's why I thought.
You're sitting in Detroit, and it's too bad you can't do that with a car.
I was going to say the same thing. No, that's how redefine the dealership. You have every model there. Pick your color.
Yeah,
you get it. You get it in 6 weeks.
Of course. And that used to be a popular model back in the 70s because you had to wait so long for it. You might as well order your car with all your specs because they didn't have them all on the lot.
Like Blues Brothers, new Oldsmobiles in early this year.
What's old is new again, right? It always these models. But to say that, geez, retail is dead because they've tried nothing and they're all out of options, I think is a sad way to look at it.
And that's like, oh, you don't have my size. I guess I'll have to leave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now at least
they have
stores,
no way for you to get it conveniently.
Well, but here's I go to when I go to Guitar Center, like whenever I'm looking to build out a studio, we're opening something up. I'm like, hey, you know what? I need 8 mics, I need 8 cables, I need da 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 da. And he's like, well, we only have 1 here, but I can put the order in for you, and you can have it in 2 weeks. And I'm like, really? Because I can open up my Amazon app, watch me, open my Amazon app, and there's the mic. Oh, and it's Amazon Prime.
Day after tomorrow.
I just ordered.
And it's cheaper than what you have right here.
Gulp. Yeah, gulp. Right.
No, but that's the thing. You need to add another level or another element of service to the retail experience. And if you don't, right, like if you look how Best Buy's transformed themselves in less than a year. Have you gone in one lately? There's no more video games. GameStop.
I broke up with them 2 years ago.
There's no more. Basically, there's one shelf of CDs, literally one little box, all home and home automation. It's almost become like a Fredder appliance.
Yeah.
It's like
And
literally
they get the vendor to pay for it. So you walk in and Samsung's got an area and Apple's got an area, so they cover the cost of the square foot.
The other one that I think does really well is Micro Center. You can order. You order online, pick it up in 18 minutes.
Yep.
You know,
That's I've done it.
Yeah,
that's where these laptops come from.
That's like going to Dixieland flea market for me.
Yeah, it's almost like the Domino's of electronics.
I was going to say, I get a pizza and electronics all at the same trip.
Yeah,
yeah. And see, where they get you though is the checkout line.
Oh yeah,
because
they've got all tchotchkes.
Every little bobble, bangle, USB drive.
You're like, oh my god, I got all this
need
stuff.
a fiber optic lighted Rubik's Cube. Yes, I do.
Or do I?
Oh yeah,
they know how that game is played.
They do.
Totally.
Yeah, I went there. I think last weekend to buy to get their free 32 gigabit stick, and I came up with like $60 worth of purchases. I said, "You got me, and I'm proud of you."
Yeah, right. God bless you.
It's like Costco. You can never go there for
Oh gosh, no.
First it's free, kid.
Right.
There you go.
So talk to me about some of the keynotes. What are some of the messages you guys are delivering?
So the first keynote was Howard Heppelman. He's from PTC, and he really talked about the Internet of Things and how augmented reality, putting down a piece of paper and being able to immediately visualize it in a plant setting. And we talked about how that's been around, but it hasn't really been for prime time like it's coming now.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like it really is going to fit into to the daily task. And then this afternoon we have Ian Steff, who's the Undersecretary of Commerce for Manufacturing. And he's flying in to talk about what's happening on the global stage around manufacturing. I think it's going to be a great presentation.
Dave, I just had an idea. Hold on. Sorry, Tom. Dave, I just had an idea. I just had to document this. Augmented reality Star Wars chess. Make it happen.
Star Wars what?
I bet
Chess.
that exists. That's got to exist.
3D holo chess?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's out there.
Goes in
If
clubs.
it's not,
the guy,
somebody
right?
make it happen.
I'm pretty sure Lucas probably owned the patent on that.
Right.
77
Right.
just in case. Yeah.
I'm glad it's augmented reality, not real reality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
I think Lucas has a real reality one. They makes them club each other.
bash each other.
Like Folk Teller and that kind of stuff. I mean, they were doing it, but I mean, let's be honest. Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what made AR known.
Yeah.
Like that's what actually got it.
Like,
out to the
oh my
mainstream.
God, it works. We need to do more.
Yeah.
We need to make
Actually,
something useful out of this.
the thing that blew me away about the morning presentation with Howard was he talked about how if the glasses really can project augmented reality, your phone will go away.
Yes.
Because it's simply a mechanism to get visual display to you. And that's why Google and Apple and everybody are running like
really
crazy into AR. I thought, I'm not sure I thought of that before. That they're worried about being obsoleted.
I do
think
not want to
Apple
be a
and Google-
glass hole. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, I don't
Wait, no
either.
Google Glass. No.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those things where if everybody does it, I guess I'll look like the opposite of a
And
glass
then the
hole.
mics are always on.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You seen that video with the SNL video? Italian.
I apparently haven't seen that, and I'm probably okay with it.
Google actually suppresses it.
So we were talking before the show, and you were mentioning about something that I don't want any part of, and it's this robot that like moves as a snake would.
Howie chose it from Carnegie Mellon is here, and he's been on Jimmy Fallon. He's been all over preaching the gospel of robots. He's got this little robot that Pavan will probably describe better.
It's a very interesting thing. You got to really watch it online. But the demonstration, and I don't want to put words in how he chose its mouth, but the goal is to show different kind of articulations of robots, and this robot will actually climb up poles so that you can actually do things like maintenance. That's really the goal of this thing. So, you have, it's very difficult for a robot to go up through ducts.
Everything.
That's really what he's demonstrating, and it's pretty amazing. So the way they've developed this thing. And then I think it can, if I'm not mistaken, it can also kind of self-configure it, to become like a little ball for transportation. It just does.
You know how the drones roll out of the ship in Star Wars and then pop up into a death machine?
No, I want no part of it.
No.
He's looking at images on it. I don't know what's worse, the snake. What's worse, the snake or the Google robots in the forest?
See, they're going to put that
Google
brain
robots
in
in the
these
forest.
things.
That's the Boston Dynamics
Yeah.
videos.
That's the creepiest.
Those are creepy.
But I think they sold that business, if I'm not mistaken.
To Google.
Thank God.
Google sold it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think if I'm not mistaken, Boston Dynamics was then.
They need to sell it and burn it.
That was a little.
This is
creepy.
scarier to me than
They
Pennywise.
sold it to a company called General Death Industries.
right.
We should be safe because
Death Star Inc.
Yeah, Death Star Inc. That's right.
Yeah. So, hey, Integr8 Conference, if you're not here yet, you really need to be. Thank you for hanging out with us, Tom. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Made available offline after the fact.
Absolutely. We're videotaping.
Yes.
We're videotaping everything. It will be made available. And November 15th next year is Integr8.
That's right.
Be here, November 15th, 2018.
Very cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
Guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Pavan. Appreciate it. This has been a segment here from the IT and the D show here at the Integr8 Conference in the GM Renaissance Center. And we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Welcome back. Thank you for listening. This is a special one-off edition of the IT and the D show. We're broadcasting
We are still here.
live at the Renaissance Center at the
They haven't thrown us out yet.
the Automation Alley Integr8 Conference. This is Bob the Sales Guy hanging out with Dave the Geek. Find us online, itandthed.com. So far, it's been a great show.
It really has. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool people. We've had a lot of really good conversations.
The one thing that I'm getting from the show is, like I say, I go to a lot of cybersecurity and IT shows, and it's always the same companies talking to the same people about the same stuff.
Yep.
And this is the one cool conference that's kind of bridging this gap between digital and manufacturing. And one of the companies doing that is WeDo. And we have the CEO here.
Like you and I?
We do, yeah. They do.
No, they do.
Right.
Actually, we do.
But we have the
WEDOO, yes?
Yes. So we have the CEO here, Franco Bevioni, who's the CEO for North America for WeDo. How are you doing?
Hi, fine. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Bob, for hosting me here.
Absolutely. So I have to ask the $1 million question. What does WeDo do?
Well, what we do, what we do. WeDo is an international digital company based in Italy, in North America, here in Michigan, close to Detroit, and in China from some months. And we developed a digital solution for our customer, always trying to stitch together three very important things: technology, creativity, and always innovation in all our projects. Today we are here just presenting some of our things, some of the things we developed for the Industry 4.0 market, especially the virtual reality, augmented reality, and remote assistance solutions that we developed for the industry, for manufacturing, for automotive, aerospace, and so on.
So what is some of the applications, like for manufacturing? What are some of the for remote, when you're talking, like I know for medical, that's very clear. What are you doing in terms of the solutions for the manufacturing in terms of augmented reality?
Let me give an example. You're a guy working in front of a machine in a manufacturing company. You're having a problem. So the first thing you do, you call your supervisor, then you don't solve the problem. Then you wear something, a wearable device. You call somebody and you are in contact with a senior specialist, maybe a senior engineer of your own company or maybe one of your supplier. And he helps you in solving the problem of the machine you have in front of you through the software we have developed to the device we use for doing that. That's the remote assistance. But we use also virtual reality for preparing the specialist in doing their work, doing training. So reproducing digital twinning what exists in reality and helping the people to better understand the process.
It's almost like flight simulators for a manufacturing floor?
Correct. We can call it the flight simulator for the manufacturing industry.
Perfect. I just renamed your product. This is awesome.
Yeah. You're right.
But in terms of augmented reality, we've seen it we talked about it earlier. We've seen it blow up with the addition of Pokemon Go. It brought it to everybody's home. But, and then we've also seen it a few years ago with children's books. Now, how is this being used in a business capacity?
Well, I can tell you that what we call remote assistance before, it applies perfectly also to augmented reality because, again, we have a wearable device. I don't want to say any brands now, but you can wear it. You can connect your guy on field. But not only that, because with the connection, you can share video and audio. And so bringing...
When you say wearable device, are we talking like a wristwatch, something that like fits on your head, a backpack?
Potentially both of them.
Okay.
All what you said. The most powerful product is something that you put on your head, so like a helmet, because in this case you can share your eyes with somebody. Exactly. Exactly. But also a wristband, also a tab can work in the same way. But the big difference is that for the pad, for example, you don't have your hands free, so you can do your own work if you are in a manufacturing plant. But getting back to what we can do with AR in a manufacturing plant, for example, after sharing audio and video from one remote site to the on-site, is that we can integrate the system with the legacy system of the company. For example, a ticketing system for troubleshooting, or a learning management system where a part of the learning is done in a classroom and a part of the learning is done on the job, wearing the helmet, and all the activities are tracked by the system itself. So that's the big integration of those different devices.
So basically, like in the old days, this would be like, hey, I'm going to train somebody. I have to fly to like 8 remote sites, train the trainer.
Right.
And then that goes down. And now with this, you can do it instantaneously.
You're right.
Instantaneously.
Yes.
Thank you.
Or simultaneously.
Right.
I can't help you
And
on
both.
English words, but
right.
that's what you mean.
Exactly. So I guess, what are some of the highlights for the show so far with you? I mean, other than showcasing your products, what are some of the other highlights?
Well, it has been a beautiful event to showcase our products and to have contact with many companies that can be interested in our kind of products. It worked very well. And probably after the meeting, we're going to have other meetings for
we hope
for do deep dives in some of the solutions we have and how they can fit to the needs of our potential customers.
Now, are you as a solutions provider, are you providing anything that you've developed proprietary solutions? I guess
I would say both of them, because for virtual reality, for example, we have developed during the last 11 years a platform for producing new content. So in that case, on one side we have a platform that is a sort of product off the shelf, and on the other side we customize for our customer the plant, the equipment, the product that they have. So on one side we are application provider, and on the other side we are solution provider. Both of them. I don't know if I've been clear.
Okay, well then this might be an open-ended question then. So who should be calling WeDo? Like, who are you looking for as a customer now?
Whatever company that has a big structure with production site, different site spread out everywhere, with problems connected to maintenance, training of their employees, and the necessity to keep together all those kind of stuff and to reduce the cost for doing this kind of activity. Because for sure, they're already doing something for solving this problem, but we have a solution that can be an improvement and reduce the cost for doing that.
Well, think about that. Like you got, back in the day, you'd send SWAT teams out that were specialists in a certain product.
Dude, I was a trainer for an EDI software company. You would go to every plant.
And did you travel a lot for doing
God,
that?
Yeah.
That's the point. Here you can do your work, stay in your own office, and being connected to one of your guys in the other part of the world.
That's amazing.
Train trainers like on the spot, on the fly. Yeah, I mean that's like the AR stuff. That's why I don't even know how it applies to business. That's why I like having these conversations, just because I've only seen it in like
Pokemon
toy environments, right,
or Minority Report movies or something like that. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But now it's reality.
Yeah, exactly. So this is phenomenal. So how do we find you online?
You find us on www.wedo, and I repeat, WEDOO.it.
.it. Perfect. Okay. So, Franco, appreciate the time.
Thank you for
anything else you wanted to get out before we cut you loose?
Yeah. I don't know if I can add something more. Come on our website. Come to visit us. You are in the D. We are in the D. So please come to visit us. We're in Birmingham, where there is our North American headquarters.
Okay.
And come to visit us. Call us, and we can show you what we're doing. That is better to see than to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I saw your demo over there. It looks fascinating.
Thank
so
you.
yeah,
I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Cool.
Franco, appreciate the time. The CEO from WeDo, definitely look him up online and appreciate the conversation. And we're going to take a quick break. This is the IT and the D Show live from the floor at the Integr8 conference here at the Renaissance Center, Detroit, Michigan. We'll be right back.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
So on the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.